Hi everyone, Nick here, your English Fluency Coach. And here I am with a fun new lesson for you, helping you build your English fluency by teaching you real everyday English that native speakers use. So I'm from Australia. I live in Sydney, if you don't know already. And I'm an Australian, I'm an Aussie, even though I have dark hair and maybe I don't look like an Aussie to you. But yeah, I was born here in Australia. I was born in Adelaide, actually, in South Australia. But I live in Sydney. And I teach English fluency lessons, English conversation classes on Skype and here in my office in Sydney. So, by the way, if you want to take a lesson with me, you can have a free 30-minute consultation. So send me an email at realenglishspeaker@gmail.com. and ask me any questions about my lessons. So, today I'm going to be talking about idioms. What is an idiom? An idiom, or idiom. An idiom is a phrase or expression. It's like a sentence that you can use alone. You don't have to put it with other parts of a sentence. You can just use it alone. And it's like an expression which has another meaning, so it's not literal. It's not exactly the same as the words in the sentence. And this can be quite difficult because we do use them a lot. So it's really interesting to use idioms and an important part, interesting to learn them, and it's an important part of fluent conversation. Today I'm going to teach you 8 common idioms that we use quite a lot in conversation. Number 1. I've got a lot on my plate. I've got a lot on my plate. What does it mean? A lot on my plate? What if you have too much food on your plate? A plate is what you eat your food from, right? What if imagine you have too much on there? No, I can't eat all that. So actually, it's not about eating. So it's not the same as the actual words. When you have a lot on your plate, it means you have too much work to do. You have too many tasks and responsibilities, and it's just, it's stressful. For example, Sarah and James have a lot on their plate at the moment, with 2 new kids, a big house, and a new job. I've got so much on my plate right now. I don't have time to meet you. I'm sorry. Okay. So that's a very common one. Number two. Back to the drawing board. To go back to the drawing board. So this is often used in business, in work situations. The project proposal didn't work. We have to go back to the drawing board. It means we have to go back to the planning stage. We have to cancel our plans because it didn't work, and we have to go back to the planning stage and start again. A drawing board is like a big board where you write down the ideas and you make the plans in a meeting often, or when you're designing something or creating something. The drawing board, the planning, design stage. Okay, back to the drawing board. Number 3. Let's go into this one. Number 3. To bite off more than you can chew. To bite off more than you can chew. Okay, bite. Do you know the verb bite? Maybe not with this noise, but to bite, yeah, is when you eat something and you use your teeth. And chew is the action of moving your jaw and your teeth to soften your food. So what do you think it means? To bite off more than you can chew. For example, Tom is working 3 jobs at the moment, Plus, he's doing volunteer work on the weekend. He has bitten off more than he can chew. Present perfect form of the sentence. He has bitten off more than he can chew. What do you think? It's similar to he's got too much on his plate, or a lot on his plate. So to bite off more than you can chew means to accept too many responsibilities and tasks. And too much. You can't do it. Because it's not possible. You don't have time. So if you say, yes, I will do that. Yes, I will do that. Yes, I will do that. You are biting off more than you can chew, more than you can deal with, more than you can handle. Sarah is teaching 50 kids in her new class. I think she's biting off more than she can chew. 50 kids in her class. Okay. Number 4 is a pretty common one. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. 2 birds? Look, don't worry. It sounds a bit aggressive. Maybe you don't like this one. It might sound a bit violent to you, but it's very common. This is a very old idiom and we use it a lot. So, a stone, do you know what a stone is? A stone is a small rock. So, a stone, this is a stone, a small rock. And you have 2 birds over there, and I have 1 stone. No, I would not try to kill 2 birds. I love birds. But can you guess what it means if I try to do this? So, yeah, it means to achieve 2 things with 1 action, or at the same time. Achieve 2 things at the same time. For example, my friend and I were in the park yesterday, and we were deciding what we wanted to do. And we wanted to go to the art gallery to look at an exhibition. But we were also hungry. It was 3 o'clock. We had not had lunch. We didn't have lunch before. And I said, well, there's a cafe in the gallery, in the art gallery, in the art exhibition, in the place where you look at the art, the gallery. I said, there's a cafe in there. So let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Let's go to the gallery and we can have lunch in the cafe as well. We can have lunch and then we can see the art. We kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Sarah decided to visit her aunt in London while she was on a business trip. She was killing 2 birds with 1 stone. All right. Let's go to number 5. To see eye to eye. To see eye to eye with someone. We often use this in the negative. We don't see eye to eye. For example, my father and I don't see eye to eye about politics. What do you think it means? Do we agree about politics or disagree? It means we disagree. We don't have the same opinions. So when you see eye to eye in the positive form, it means you agree. You have the same opinions about something. It looks like everyone on the team does see eye to eye. We all see eye to eye about this, so we have no problem. John and Tim don't see eye to eye about this project. I don't see eye to eye with him. So we can see eye to eye about something, or see eye to eye with someone, or just we don't see eye to eye. Very common in the negative. My sister and I don't see eye to eye. To take something with a grain of salt. Here's my salt shaker. There's only a little bit of salt in there. But these are called grains of salt. Little pieces of salt. So, when you take something with a grain of salt, what do you think it means? For example, don't believe everything you see in the news. Just take it with a grain of salt. What do you think it means? It means to not take it seriously, to not believe everything. Maybe just a little bit, take it with a little grain of salt so you can believe some of it, but not all of it, because not all of the news is really correct, and we don't know who we are getting it from, or it's different opinions. John doesn't always tell the truth. Just take what he says with a grain of salt. Take what he says with a grain of salt. Don't take it completely seriously. Just a little bit, but not everything. All right, that's a common one as well. Let's go to number 7. Once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon. Blue moon. Sorry, my singing, terrible, I know. But what does it mean, once in a blue moon? For example, how often do you go to the gym? Oh, once in a blue moon. How often do you go to the cinema to see a movie? Once in a blue moon. I go to the cinema once in a blue moon. Do you think it's a lot or not much? That's right, not often. Very rarely. Maybe once a year, once or twice a year, I go to the cinema. Not me, actually. I like going to the cinema, and I like going to the gym. But for something you do rarely, you can say, I do it once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon. What do you do once in a blue moon? Number 8, to be on the ball. To be on the ball. For example, I have 3 meetings today and I have to give a presentation. I really need to be on the ball. On the ball. Like balancing on the ball. What do you think it means? To be really alert. Exactly. To be aware and alert and energized. So you can't make a mistake. You have to be really alert. For example, I imagine doctors who work in the emergency in the hospital. Doctors who work in the emergency section of the hospital, the doctors and nurses, have to be really on the ball. They have to be very quick and aware and alert because so much is happening. Or the air traffic controllers, the people who watch the planes and give directions to the planes, have to be really on the ball, don't they? They can't miss something, or there might be a big mistake and it could be bad. So, do you have a job where you have to be on the ball? When do you usually have to be on the ball? So, let's have a look at the idioms, the 8 idioms, and let's practice. So I'm going to give you a question and try to give me an answer with the idiom. Number 1, I've got a lot on my plate. Do you have a lot on your plate at the moment? When was the last time you had a lot on your plate? Number 2, back to the drawing board. Back to the drawing board. Can you remember a time when you had to go back to the drawing board? Maybe with a project you were working on, or an assignment. Number 3, to bite off more than you can chew. Bite off more than you can chew. Think about a time when you bite, past tense, bit off more than you could chew at that time. Number 4, to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. When did you kill 2 birds with 1 stone? Can you think about a situation where you achieved 2 things at the same time with 1 action? Can be social, can be work, anything. Number 5, to see or not see eye to eye. Tell me about someone you don't see eye to eye with. Number 6, to take it with a grain of salt. What do you think we should take with a grain of salt? Or who in your life should you take with a grain of salt? Number 7, once in a blue moon. What is an action or something that you only do once in a blue moon. And number 8, to be on the ball. Do you have a job where you have to be on the ball? Can you think of a time when you had to really be on the ball? So I suggest you practice answering these questions. Watch the video again in this question section and speak your answers out. Then you can write the answers down. But I suggest you practice speaking first and then writing. And of course, in the comments below, in the YouTube comments, leave your sentences, practice, and I will correct you. Talk with me, tell me about you, and use these idioms. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more free video lessons. Get my ebook, over here, How to Speak English with Confidence in 6 Fun Steps. Free ebook for you. And you can join my newsletter and get lessons to your email, video lessons, audio lessons. You can check out my website, realenglishspeaker.com. I have free audio lessons on there. So, I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I'll see you next time. Bye.